In this series on how I record, edit, and mix my personal audiobooks, here's how I edit my audiobook recordings inside SoundForge Audio Studio. Come on, let's check it out. This video lesson is part 2 of 4 of my 14 essential audio editing tips, number 7 and 8. Come on, let's get started right now. Audio editing tip number 7. Understand what the blue audio waves mean, such as what is spoken word, what is a breath, what indicates maybe some kind of strange noise. These blue audio waves can indicate what is good and what is bad. Come on, let me explain this. So here we are in the audio recording program, and I'm just going to move these around a little bit so I can enlarge this window because I want to show you what these audio waves are and what they mean. And let's just go right to the beginning. Now, do you see anything here? No, you don't. That is silence. And I'll play it for you. So if you don't see anything, that means silence. If you start seeing waves, this means sound, noise. Spoken word. Let's see what this is. Let's play it. Component number 3. Okay, so that was component number 3. Component number 3. Now notice in between these two spoken words, there's a flat line. This is pretty much silence. Component number 3. So when you record, your audio should be very clear. And I even talk about speaking in sound bites, pausing between words that you speak, because you're going to want to be able to edit it very well. And you can't really do that when it's a run-on group of words. Let's check this out. Let me play it. Plan your success. Okay, that's not bad. If I had to re-record that, that's pretty easy. But let's just take a look at this. Component number 3. Plan your success. And did you notice silence? So as we move along in this audio, there's going to be other little things you see, like what's this? I'm going to highlight it and play it. Ooh, that's a smacking of the lips. You know, some people are guilty as heck with, all right, well, here we go. You're going to want to delete all that out. Whether you have a dream. So you can tell that this was just some kind of a short noise. Now, we want to get rid of it. Highlight it, delete. Goodbye. And as I look at this audio, it looks pretty clean, but I'm going to want to be able to enlarge the audio so I can see it more clearly. Like, what's this? You'd like, ooh, it's a breath. You'd like to fulfill, dream. You'd like, so this is a breath. See, as I enlarge this, and I'll show you how to enlarge in just a second. But as I enlarge this or I shrink it, I can see that that is a breath. And what is this? Another breath. And what is this? Not bad. What is this? These are all breaths. No, we got to get rid of them. And how do we do that? Highlight a little bit of silence, copy it, highlight, paste. Whether you have a dream you'd like to fulfill, or a great idea that this was silence, fill, or a great idea that you'd like to turn into a reality. Nothing comes. So all these blue waves indicate some kind of vocal, spoken word. Nothing comes good, or a snap. And we talked about that earlier. A good heart. Nothing comes a good hard look at our. So as you go through your audio, we want to just pay attention to what we know are good sounding recorded audio. Or what is this? When you do that, you might experience a breath. Again, highlight some silence, paste over that breath situation. When you do that, you might experience excellent. Another breath. And what is this? Check this out. There's going to be certain words like, well, anything with like a K or a D or a P or any of those words that have a letter at the end that has like a but, or a t, a k, like back. K. Watch this right here. Okay? About embarking on that new project. Project. New project. To do good. New project. So when you're looking at this audio, you go, oh, is that a mistake? No, that is probably part of the audio, the spoken word. Project. So we want to keep that. So if we were to highlight this silence here and paste to get rid of a breath that was right here, I would not want to edit over this area here because that's part of the spoken word of project. New project. If I did, and I highlighted over that T, and I pasted over it, this is what it would sound like on that new project. Project. So again, just as you cruise through your audio and you're playing it for yourself and or others, no matter what, and you come across strange noises, breaths, just highlight some silence and just paste over that. No matter what best describes your feelings about your current situation, make an honest assessment and use it as fuel to drive you. We just found a mistake. So we're going to take a look at where the audio begins. No matter what best describes your this is the beginning of the part that included the mistake. To drive you. No matter what best describes your feelings about your current situation, make an honest assessment and use it as fuel to drive you all the way to the finish line of victory. And use it as fuel to drive you. Okay. So we're basically just going to highlight all of this area. Highlight right past that snap so that we can delete all that, because we can identify that this is spoken word right here, and this is our snap, which we don't want that in the audio. But this is the beginning of the corrected version of the audio recording. So we're going to just highlight all of that and delete it. Goodbye. Now it plays properly, and or others. No matter what best describes your feelings about your current situation, great. And that's pretty much, you're just going to go through this whole thing. And let me now introduce to you something that is very cool and must be learned to become very good at editing audio. And that is audio editing tip number 8. Learn how to zoom in and out of your blue audio waves so you can see what you're editing more closely. Here's how that's done. Now, one of the most important skills you could develop when it comes to editing your audio is how to enlarge and zoom in and zoom out of your audio so you can see exactly what you're editing. Now, you can grab this corner of this window in SoundForge Audio Studio, and you can enlarge it or you can shrink it, but that is not what I'm talking about. No, I'm talking about using the plus sign or this minus sign to zoom in and spread out the audio recording waves so you can see specifically what it is that you're looking at. And you can then shrink the audio waves as well. But this just gives you kind of a global view when you can shrink it down to its, bare minimum here, and you can see everything. You can see where all the finger snap mistakes are, here and here and here and here and over here. So it's important that you're able to zoom in and zoom out of your audio so you can see what it is that you have to edit. Now over here on this side, you've got the increase, where you can increase the view of your audio waves or decrease. I'm going to increase them here. And then again, you can stretch them out so you can see where the breaths are. So you can take them out. And you can see these very minute sounds by increasing the width and the height of your audio. And if you want to increase this window a little more, that's okay. Just going to go like that. Now, my favorite is to use the mouse wheel. So I'm going to hold the control key down, and I'm just going to scroll with that wheel back and forth. Now, when I do that, I don't have to go over here and click this minus sign and the plus sign. That's a little too detailed. Same with over here. Shrinking or enlarging the width. And again, press the control key and scroll with your mouse wheel. We'll do the vertical, okay? And if you just use the wheel itself, you can zoom in and out, and then of course, control, wheel, and there you go. So again, I really like this. The wheel expands the audio that you're looking at, and you can highlight an area and then use the wheel to zoom in and increase so you can see what it is that you're editing. Then you have the arrows here on the left and the right to move where you want to view your audio. Do you want to go to the front? Do you want to go all the way to the back? And then you also have these little tips here, the go to start, go to end. But again, the wheel. Hold the control key down and scroll with the wheel. Increases. Just the wheel alone will increase the width horizontally. So you can see, and I usually like to have it about like this. So I can see, there's a snap. Here's a breath. Here's a little breath. And what do? How do you see yourself? Is your reflection? Because you can see the audio waves very clearly, you can hear what you're wanting to edit. How do you see yourself? Is your reflection? And okay, so we know it's just this part right here that we want to delete. How do you see yourself? Is your reflection an accurate one? Come on, let's check it out. Yeah, sounds good. So that's how you zoom in and zoom out of your audio so you can see what you're looking at. When I first see this, I know that, I'm kind of zoomed out far away. So I want to zoom in, and I'll just put my cursor right at the beginning, and then I'll use the wheel to blow up or zoom in where I want to start editing. And then I'll use the control wheel to then increase so I can see, there's a breath. Yeah, sure is. What's this? Okay, not too bad. Whether you have a dream. Ooh, what was that? Whether you have a snappy of those lips. Now that's got to go. Bye. Delete. Whether you have a dream you'd like to fulfill or a great idea that you'd like to turn into a reality, nothing comes a good hard. So there you go. Zoom in, zoom out using the wheel and the control wheel so that you can zoom vertically or zoom horizontally so you can see what it is that you are editing. All right, this concludes part 2 of 4 of my 14 essential audio editing tips, number 7 and 8. Come on, let's check out the next video tutorial in this series, and I'll talk about audio editing tips number 9 and 10.